So tonight our topic is how the law of attraction really works. I'm going to talk to you about law of attraction on a deeper level than maybe you've heard it before, because what happens is, of course, as my accountant always likes to say, a little information is dangerous. So I would say it was probably around late 80s, around 1987 or so, in one of my publications that I was starting to study this work back then. It was probably a little bit before that. And I'm studying this work, and it was an article in one of my publications. It was called Energy and Attraction. Didn't even say law of attraction, just said energy and attraction. And it was all about energy and how you attract things into your life. And I found it very fascinating. So I spent all these years studying, metaphysical, spiritual principles. But law of attraction was one that was always very interesting to me. So I studied it from a quantum physics perspective, from a metaphysical perspective, from a spiritual perspective, from a religious perspective, kind of try to pull all this information together and figure out the best way to use it myself and then use it as I teach others how to use that. So the bottom line here is a couple of things. The law of attraction has been around as long as the universe. You probably all realize that, for those of you who are here tonight. But a lot of people a few years ago saw or read The Secret. How many of you saw that? And for a lot of you people who saw that, that was the first time they ever heard of that. So people would actually come to me like this was their new religion. Like this is what I'm going to do now. And it also, of course, spawns a whole industry and an opportunity to make money. So we know that when there's an opportunity to make money, people are going to jump on it. So one day I was at a networking event out on the island, and I see this guy who's a sales trainer. I knew him about 5 or 6 years. I hadn't seen him for a while. So I said, how are you? What's going on? What are you up to these days? He said, oh yeah, I'm really doing well. I'm doing this, that, and the other thing. He said, I'm teaching the law of attraction now. So I said, wow, I didn't know you studied that. He said, well, I saw The Secret. So I said, well, that doesn't really qualify you to teach, I don't think. But so this is what ends up happening. So you have to be careful, because people are teaching stuff that they don't know, because it's a way to make money. And anytime you use the words, people get very excited about that. So what I want to do tonight is kind of fill in some blanks, some of the things that you may not have understood before, and understand how it's working. So basically, we're working under two sets of laws. We have man-made laws, and we have what we call natural or spiritual laws, whatever you want to call them, metaphysical laws. It doesn't matter what you call it. Here's the difference. You can break a man-made law and get away with it. I broke one today, at least one. Because I know driving in, I was going about 70, so I broke the law. Now I didn't get arrested, I didn't go to jail, I didn't get a ticket. And the difference is, you can break man-made laws, because they are made by us. Now, natural laws, you can't break, because natural laws are universal, and they work, and they affect you every minute of your life. So the law of attraction is a natural law. It's a universal law. You can't break that law. So I'll give you an example. One of our natural laws is gravity. So you can't get up this morning and say, I'm not doing gravity. I'm not doing it. I'm not feeling gravity today. You can't do that. It's there. It's happening. So basically, the law of attraction is always working in your life. The question is, you don't realize how it's working, number one. And secondly, you don't realize how it's affecting you on a minute-by-minute basis. So what we want to do with law of attraction, basically, because it's a very powerful attracting type of law, is learn how to, what I call, aim it. I want to aim it. Most people are just going through the motions. They're just kind of living their lives and think things are happening to them. But in reality, they're creating it based on how they feel and based on their belief system. So when things happen to you, right away people start to look for a reason or try to figure it out or try to justify. But what we have to understand is that's not what's happening. I have to see myself as the person who created this. And this is hard for people, because most people in the third dimensional world that we live in, they really want to be victims. Does anybody know any of that? Anybody here been a victim? Right? I'm sure none of this. We've never been down that road before. But we've all been there. So now when you start transcending into this work, you realize I give up the right to be a victim. You give up the right to be a victim, because now you see yourself as the creator. So I want you to see yourself that way. So you have to see yourself very powerful. Like, I have the ability to create whatever I want.